yung pong mga lugar na mataas ang growth rate, na-distort yung average. Kaya parang lumalabas na napakataas ang average growth rate sa Pilipinas. Sa India, madalas nabanggitin natin ang India pagdating sa populasyon. Ilang taon na, ilang dekada na. Nag-aaral ako, tayong lahat nag-aaral. Pag sinasabing malaking populasyon, India ang parating ginagawa halimbawa. Nandan Nilikani, one of the most respected businessmen, a dollar billionaire, Indian businessman, IT ang kanyang negosyo. Siya ngayon ay nag-lecture sa buong daigdig, nagpupunta sa London School of Economics, sa Harvard, nasa YouTube. Meron sa mga lecture na mabasa nyo, mapagpikita sa YouTube. Meron sa bestseller, Imagining India. Isa sa magandang libro na dapat basahin natin lahat. Sapagkat ang India ay napakagandang economic model para sa Pilipinas. Anong sabi ni Nandan Nilikani? Ang sabi niya, India's economic rise is human capital. Which has contributed to India's economic rise is human capital. India no longer views its large population as a liability but as an asset. India no longer views its large population as a liability but as an asset. Pinaliwanag yan ni Nandan Nilikani. Sabi niya, the reason for that is we can easily mobilize manpower if there is an economic opportunity. Kailangan mo ng 10,000, we have 10,000. Kailangan mo 100,000, we have 100,000. Merong business opportunity, pwede tayo mag-mobilize ang manpower. Kaya palaki ng palaki ang kanilang economy doon. They have about 300 million young, able-bodied workers in India, and they are very globally competitive. Ang ginawa nila, pinapaaral nila ang gusto ang kanilang populasyon to make them really assets at hindi liability. Russia, noong November last year, the Russian president, si Dmitry Medvedev, delivered his SONA, State of Russia. Ang sabi niya, ang nakita nila na ang populasyon nila ay nasa critical stage, bumababa. So ngayon, sa Russia, they're giving Russian couples an incentive for a third child or more, maybe baby bonus, better healthcare, and free land. Nagbibigay ng libreng lupa sa Russia. Korea. Again, Korea. Nakita nila yung kanilang pagkakamali sa kanilang population control. Kahit na-develop sila, ang ginawa nila, they allocated $67.8 billion to boost, over a 5-year period, to boost their birth rate. Kasi mababa ang kanilang birth rate. Pero mo, ang population density nila, doble sa ating population density. Pero ang ginagawa nila, binuboost pa nila, pinapataas pa nila ang kanilang birth rate. At dahil nga sa population decrease sa Korea, meron pong isang nagsasabi na ang chairman ng Goldman Sachs Asset Management, isang kilalang economist, ano sabi niya? Na ang Korean economy will fall behind in the coming years. A projection that the Korean economy will fall behind Turkey and the Philippines, while Indonesia will become the 6th largest behind Russia. Isipin nyo, by 2050, ilang taon na lamang, maunahan natin ang Korea. Because you know, pag ikaw ay nagkamali sa iyong population policy, it will take you 75 years to correct that error. Kaya, ngayon, nagkamali na sila, it's going to take them 75 years, and by 2050, yung dating nauunang Korean economy, ang projection nila, the Philippines will overtake Korea by 2050. In fact, ang projection ng marami, because of the kind of economic strategy na nakikita sa atin, yung pagbulusok ng ating ekonomiya, yung OFW, yung BPO natin, ang projection nila, in about 10 to 20 years, magiging number 12 most powerful economy ang Pilipinas. Number 12. Number 12 sa population at number 12 din pagdating sa economy. Problems of graying population. Ito isang napakaganda na artikulo. Yung problems of graying population, yung tumatandang populasyon. No offense to the senior citizens in this room. I don't see anyone. Wala akong nakikita ng senior citizen dito. Ang sabi dito, yung demographic crunch, no? Ang binabanggit yung demographic crunch. There are a lot of different reasons this is turning out to be such a politically hot summer in so much of the Western world. But one way to understand this is agreeably from the protests in Spain, Greece, to the budget deadlock in Washington, and even the tragedy in Norway, is the diverse symptoms of a shared condition. The West is getting old. The demographic pact is becoming a generational war. And there is every reason to believe that in the coming decades, it will get worse. It will get worse. The heart of the problem is arithmetical. The post-World War II social welfare state created at the moment when the baby boom was still gestating is built on a generational Ponzi scheme. This demographic crunch has transformed the way a lot of us think about the relationship between economic growth and population growth. Not so long ago, sabi dito, the conventional wisdom was neo-Malthusian. For individuals, for families, and societies, one of the keys to prosperity was having fewer children. Now, the thinking has been turned upside down. Ulitin ko po, nasa New York Times po ito. Hindi po ito sa tabloid dito sa atin na in-author ni Congressman Golez, kundi sa New York Times, sabi rito, one of the keys to prosperity then was having fewer children. Now, the thinking has been turned upside down. In a speech at the Aspen Ideas Festival a few weeks ago, former Treasury Secretary Robert Rubin cited the United States' favorable demographics relative to Europe, Japan, and even to China and Korea as one of the principal reasons to believe that the country has sunny economic prospects. But actually, the reason why the demography is a little better is because of their non-white population. The Latino, the Filipinos who are there, the blacks who are there. Pero pag yung mga white lamang, matindi ang kanilang demographic problem in the US. President Dmitry Medvedev is so worried about Russia's shrinking citizenry that families that have a third child can get plots of land up to 1,500 square meters, or about a third of an acre from the Kremlin. 1,500 square meters. Pag meron kang pangatlong anak. Even China, the most brutal apostle of population control, now fears it will get old before it gets rich. Meanwhile, India, whose fertility was once seen as its national curse, is touted as a rising investment prospect thanks to its demographic dividend. These are quotable things in the debate on our age. At saka pala, itong ating PowerPoint presentation ko, I'll make this available to all of you here. Ibigay ko sa mga organizers. Yung mga meron USB sa inyo, just get your copy para magamit nyo agad. Another example, George Friedman, author and founder of Stratfor Strategic Forecasting, came out with the bestseller, The Next 100 Years. Ano sabi ni George Friedman? Sabi niya, maraming bansa na dati nililimit nila ang kanilang immigration, very strict ang kanilang immigration policy. But because of a shrinking world population, darating daw ang araw, and this will be in the first half of the 21st century. We are already in the first half of the 21st century. Ang first half is from year 2001 to 2050. The problem, ang sabi niya sa mga bansa, ngayon daw, ang mga developed countries see the problem as keeping immigrants out. But later, the problem will be persuading them to come. Countries will go so far as to pay people to move there. This will include the United States will be competing for increasingly scarce immigrants. Kaya darating pong araw, sa ngayon, pag kayo mag-immigrate sa US, ang haba ng pila. Pero darating ang araw, ang ambassador ng United States, siya na ang pupunta sa bahay nyo. Pinadadalang immigration application form. Tatanungin kayo kung meron gusto mag-immigrate. Because they are running out of people. And you know the meaning, what will happen if they run out of people? Walang magtatrabaho sa factory magtatrabaho sa civil service nila, walang magtatrabaho sa mga basic services nila. At sa Japan naman, mayroon isang physicist, si Michio Kaku, has a very dire projection as far as Japan is concerned. Again, a very respected physicist, Michio Kaku, one of my favorite authors incidentally. Nasa YouTube din siya, nagbibigay ng mga lecture. Ang sabi niya, how science will shape human destiny in our daily lives by the year 2100. Japan is facing a demographic nightmare. Japan has the fastest aging population. The birth rate has fallen to an astonishing 1.2 children per family. 1.2, a little over 1 per family. Eh iba, isa walang anak, isa lamang, ibig sabihin, it's lower than the critical 1.2 children per family. Some demographers have stated that we are watching a train wreck in slow motion. One demographic train, aging population, will soon collide with another low immigration rate in the coming year. This same train wreck might eventually happen in Europe as well. And of course, dito balik na naman tayo sa strength natin, no? Ito mga overseas Filipinos. Doon po sa United Nations, nagsalita ang mga young voices from all over the world. Ito yung mga pro-life youth, nagsalita sila sa United Nations. The enthusiastic voices of pro-life youth from around the world dominated the events of last week. High-level meeting on youth at the United Nations, drawing the attention of UN bureaucrats and delegates alike. I keep running into all these pro-lifers. They're everywhere. In fact, most of the people I've interviewed are pro-life. A young woman working for UNFPA. Kilala nyo ang UNFPA, yan po exponent ng RH, kasama ng abortion, told a member of the International Youth Coalition as interviewed conference attendees. And of course, ang parating sinasabi ng mga pro-RH, backward raw economy ng Pilipinas because of our population. Nahuhuli raw tayo. But they forget, or they ignore, or they even cover up all our big economic achievements. Nabanggit ko na yung BPO. Number 1 na tayo in the world pagdating sa call center. And still growing. We are number 3 pagdating sa IT, BPO all over. And growing. Soon, we will dislodge Canada. We are starting to threaten India as a BPO. Kaya lang, kulang tayo ng populasyon. Ang laki ng kanilang populasyon doon. Kaya medyo mabigat na kalaban ang India with 300 million young workers. But here's another example of how we have grown economically. Noong una, mga produkto ng Pilipinas, I remember when I was in high school, we would talk of mga iron ore, mga logs. Noong una, di-develop natin mga cottage industry, handicraft, kung ano-ano. Ngayon, 67% of our exports are electronics. 67%. Halos hindi mo na nakikita dyan yung sugar, yung iron ore, yung mga handicraft. Wala na, halos hindi nakikita. Yung una yun ang prominente. And one of the best examples of our export, ito po. This is a 180,000 deadweight ton bulk cargo vessel. Hindi una. It is the, as of November 10, 2010, 118th to be delivered by a Philippine shipbuilding company, the Dioecese Shipyard in Cebu. It is so big na ito pong Malolos Cathedral pwede ipasok, ikarga dyan sa vapor na ito. Hindi po ito handicraft. This is a world-class product proudly made by Filipinos na yung karamihan sa mga welders natin nasa abroad. Pero mga welders nandito, sila gumawa ditong vapor na ito. Kaya ito po ang pruweba na hindi po tayo backward. We are now number 3 or number 4 shipbuilder in the world. Number 3 or number 4. Gumagawa ng hindi po mga pangkat. Hindi. Cargo, bulk cargo vessel. Kaya pag meron pong nagsasabi na backward tayo, kita natin halimbawa ito. Plus of course, the other products that are made in Bulacan, in Central Luzon, in Paranaque, etc., etc. So, ito po yung aking mga gusto ibahagi sa inyo. I hope meron kayong kahit konting natutuhan dito po sa aking presentation para magamit natin sa ating pakikipagdebate in the streets of Malolos, all over in the coffee shops, in the barber shops, in dining tables, even within families, to arm ourselves with information, with statistics, demographic, scientific, medical, social, economic, to disprove the very dubious arguments being used by the RH people in order to promote the RH bill. Sila po, maraming salamat. It's a pleasure.
Dahil po may appointment si Congressman, kaya we are not going to entertain questions any longer. Iiwan po niya yung copy na kanyang ibinigay sa akin ngayong materials para ma-distribute. Yung pong material natin for the last lecture will also be ready. Kaya inuuna po muna natin bigyan yung mga pare. Kasi walang pare yata dito kundi ako lang. Para mag-interesado naman yung mga pare sa RH bill. Kaya bibigyan po natin sila ng copy. Napakalaki pong encouragement ito sa pastoral workers sa Dioecese Congressman. Kaya napakalaki po pasasalamat ang nais na ibigay sa inyo. Thank you very much po.
Tatanungin ko lang po, kasi baka may magtatanong, ano ba ang status ng RH bill ngayon? Ang status po is still period of interpellation. Tama si Congressman Pacquiao, hindi pa po period of amendment. Mali si Congressman Lagman. Medyo mga more than 30, perhaps about 50, have signed up to interpellate. So far, mga 3-4 pa lamang nakatapos. So if they're going to allow free debate, aabutin po ito ng napakahabang panahon. Kung merong free debate. Pag universal nito, baka magkaroon ng butuhan. Ano ang status pagdating sa butuhan? Right now, medyo touch and go. Kahit na sila, hindi sila nakakasiguro. Pero sa ngayon, nung una kasi, yung last Congress, yung mga nagsasalita rito, ako, Congressman Garcia, Congressman Del Mar, Congressman Pagatsing. Pero ngayon, nakakatuwa po, nadagdagan kami ng napakaraming mga bagong miyembro. Marami po mga congressmen and congresswomen of the House right now are with us. Nakakagulat. In fact, yung isa sa mga leaders ngayon ay isang bata-bata kongresista galing po sa probinsya ng Quirino. Siya po ang nag-handle ng paghanap ng mga tao, pag-survey, kung malaman kung ilan ba ang boto, tapos pagkukontrol sa floor. Kaya nakakatuwa. Kaya kami mga medyo hindi na bata, kami ngayon ang nakikipag-interpellate, pero sila ang aktibo para sa floor. But at the same time, it's very important na kayo po ay sumama din dito. How is that? Siyempre, yung mga kongresista nyo, pwede pakiusapan nyo sila na huwag bumoto dito sa RH at bumoto against RH. Kausapin nyo sila. Si Bishop Oliveros, pinakiusapan mo rin. Yung mga miyembro ng CBCP, ang sabi ko nga, kausapin nyo yung mga individual congressmen in your respective dioceses. Kasi ang mga kongresista naman, pag nakausap mo ng harapan, mga reasonable ang mga tao naman yan. They're willing and ready to listen. Kahapon, meron lumabas na artikulo, I think today, isa sa mga tabloids, parang medyo nagtataka daw yung mga pro-RA, parang medyo tumamlay daw pagdating sa usapan sa hindi itong last 2 weeks, hindi natalakay we are now in the period where we are discussing the budget. And because of that, siguro slow down ng konti ang discussion sa RH, but maybe this will again be revived sometime in September. O kaya, paudlot-udlot lang ang pagtalakay. So let's pray for the best, but we need not just prayers, we need hard work for this. Hard work on your part. Dapat kausapin niyo rin ang inyong mga respective ng mga kongresista. Sino ba mga congressman ninyo? Congressman Pedro Pancho, Congressman Alvarado, Madam Alvarado, Congressman Mendoza, Congressman Villarica. Yun po, mga kongresista nyo rito na sana kausapin nyo para makumplinsin na pumanig sa atin. Salamat po.
Hindi ko pa mababa.
Congressman Golez, during the last rally po ay yung lahat po ng congressman na iyon at saka yung plus the district of Sampalay ay nasa atin po yun at may RH po silang lahat dito sa Bulacan. Announcement po ay meron po tayong sponsor na RH Bill for college students scheduled on August 20. Pwede rin po kayo pumunta roon if you want additional information and knowledge tungkol din sa RH Bill. No? Sa seminary po ito gagawin, seminary gym, 1 o'clock in the afternoon until 5 p.m. So that is Saturday, August 20. Si Dr. Ligaya Acosta yung kanilang resource speaker. Kaya puntahan muli natin si Dr. Ligaya. Sa susunod, nakalagay po sa ating poster ay September 7